This is just what I was saying. We need to have assignments related to the tools and crucial skills and to evaluate them. When students get a good evaluation in something related to our system and the skills we are targeting, so we can say maybe he's going to bridge the gap in his future. And also here it is important to gain some knowledge about their self-report, how they feel about using technologies, about informal learning, about going to university. And in every dimensions, like in technology, as we have already done, we collect feedback from teachers, from stakeholders, from pilot coordinators, and then we should collect feedbacks from students, because we need to know how is the use of the platform, of the tools, and most of all, how they feel about this concept of bridging the gap. Around these dimensions, the evaluation group is almost done with its job of defining the tools for each of these dimensions, considering that we need to have direct and indirect assessments, as we said in our deliverable, because these are two crucial dimensions. We need to mix them. It is not sufficient to say that teachers said that the training was very good, very appreciated, or the platform is useful. We need to say that they have bridged the gap, so we need direct assessment. And for schools, the use of the platform will be demonstrated by the learning analytics, and we don't have indirect assessments because schools don't fill the surveys. Teachers, we will use learning analytics for all, for schools, teachers, students and technology. Learning analytics are a direct way to say how the platform has been used, tasks accomplished, and so on. Then for teachers, we need assignments for teachers and students. And also, Ingrid and Eli will talk to you about the Moodle Competence Framework, which is another possibility to evaluate directly the learning. And we will see how to mix assignments and Moodle Competence Framework in each pilot, where it is possible to use what, because we have different constraints in countries, we know about this, but the ideal would be to have all of this data in each pilot, but we can be flexible about, for example, the use of interviews and focus group. We can also have just surveys. If we cannot have interviews and focus group, surveys is okay for indirect evaluative assessment. Surveys for teachers and for students, before the pilot and after the pilot. Then for direct assessment, we will have the learning analytics, but Giovanni is going to talk about this. I think that the crucial issue in learning analytics is to have data which are comparable, well collected, and which say something useful for our goals. And then about assignments and Moodle Competence Framework, we will have to discuss today what to do, in what measure, and how it is possible to use this kind of assessment.
May I have a question about the assignments?
Yes.
So for students, the assignments will be evaluated by their teachers.
Yes.
And for the teachers?
Not only. The first rule is that what we need is teachers' evaluation. Then other kind of evaluations are flexible, like peer evaluation and self-evaluation. But what we need to say if they have learned something is only the teacher. Yeah, for teachers, this is another question which I put in the final discussion. Ideally, pilot coordinators or experts, learning experts, should evaluate teachers. And for this goal, we are defining short and precise evaluation rubrics about things to check. For example, yesterday I was asking you if, or I don't remember, maybe Gitis, what did the teachers on the platform, if there were a sort of check about what they did and who checked this kind of assignments. And I think you told me they created the course or something like that, but there is a precise kind of evaluation, I think, of these assignments.
thanks. I wonder, so we will treat this as a kind of model of this measurement, and it will be more or less applied in all the countries, and maybe with some justified differences, because our experience so far with teachers we work with they were not happy with this direct assessment. They were happy to participate in those and indirect like surveys and so on, but not in this one. And I'm not sure how is it. It is not, I think, much connected with this final goal, because if we have good evaluation of all the others, like the assignments of students and learning analytics of students, and we don't have good assessment of the assignments of the teacher, we still can reach the final goal, to reach the gap. So my question is whether this direct assessment of
for teachers
is necessary.
It's compulsory.
To be implemented in all the countries.
For teachers.
For teachers.
For teachers. Well, the.
So how about it? But maybe we can say that the assessment of teachers is for improvement of teacher training, but not for the final goal. And for the final goal of measuring the bridging the gap, what is counted is only the students.
This is my point.
This is the result
Final
filling
goal
the gap.
can be reached without this means to improve teachers' teaching skills.
I think we need to differentiate between the CPD participants, who, if they do an assignment, it gives them feedback on how far they've come, and the teachers in the pilot schools who don't have no assignment for them.
So it's actually, it's not exactly
The teachers.
It's quite a big issue. A recent statistical book on education is dealing with.
It's part of the CPD.
The teachers should split into two. Is that
And
true?
then in pilot,
I think we
model
need to
2.
complicate much more things to evaluate different way teachers from CPD model 1 and CPD model 2, because we will need to define another tool. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's necessary. For the teachers, it doesn't matter what is the status, one survey, because we are going to improve the teachers' teaching. But it doesn't have to do anything with bridging the gap. Bridging the gap, we should consider only the surveys of the students.
And what about the teachers, the CPD participants? You don't want them to do any assignment? How are you going to know what they've learned?
We can do the assignment, we can do everything, but it's different process. I mean, the analytics that we get from the teachers' evaluation will use us only to improve the next.
Yeah, the result will be on students' learning, in a way.
But
Future students.
the teacher has to, in the CPD, has to have the assignment mandatory or optional. If it's optional, then if the data is there, we can collect it. But it's mandatory for them to have the
Yes,
assignment.
but this data will use us only to improve the next cycles of teacher training, not for bridging the gap.
It's not for the final goal of bridging the gap for
But should we have assignments for teachers, yes or no?
It's
Not-
not necessary for reaching the final goal.
Which
It
teachers
is
are you
might
talking
be a means.
It's an indirect way to catch the final goal, because in order to have this goal, to bridge the gap, we need to have the teachers educated well in order to use the platform
One of
with
the
the
ways,
students
but
and to
my
make
point-
the assessment. This is
But we are not
Is
publishing those
No.
data.
if we show the good
Never.
evaluation of learning analytics of students, learning analytics of teachers, assignments of students, and indirect assessments, and without the assignments for teachers, then we also proved that we reached the final goal. So it's not necessary to have it may be an important means in many cases, but it's not necessary if we show good evaluation of all the others.
this can be in the middle, for
I
example.
agree.
It's
Simpler,
not the final goal.
it's more focused on the bridging the gap.
Giovanni?
Didactic tool in training the teachers, not.
Yeah, but you know, teachers weren't initially our focus because we should have focus only on directly on students. Then we decided to use a teacher's training because to get to the students we need to have
Teacher
well
training include all assignment and
so crucial. Could be. Everything is right. It's theoretically right.
So we agreed that it's not compulsory for teachers, okay?
Yeah, as it is not compulsory to have interview and focus group. We need compulsory learning analytics, students' assignments, and surveys for students and teachers. I agree with this simple. And I don't know. I think we need to listen and to decide about the Moodle Conference framework. Because this could be a really good measure of direct assessment for students, I think.
So Nadia, sorry, you think that it's not necessary to have the interviews and the focus groups?
Not necessary. If we have it, it's okay. If we have it, but
It's
I
better.
wouldn't say that it's compulsory for each country.
Not for each country, but
Not for each country, but for some we need some interviews and focus groups.
Yes.
I need here to remind to all of us that when we went 2 times in the reviewers told us when we mentioned that we are doing surveys and with questionnaires, etc. They told us, okay, you are doing surveys, but except from these surveys with questionnaires, what else you are doing? And you need to see in other projects how they are doing the evaluation methodology. So I think that they are waiting something more than
So
questionnaires and
maybe we
surveys.
should decide which country is
Exactly,
willing
yes.
and
Some
can.
countries to put the interviews and focus groups.
Just
Something that happens now.
let me say something, please. Okay, regarding we measure on schools, in my case, I would like to involve the principals of the schools involved and understand their engagement. This means, for instance, I have emails from principals that I told you yesterday, saying that, okay, you can use our teachers to help you to teach other teachers, to train the trainers. This means that someone, I think it's you, would say, we are going to use our teachers to teach the other teachers inside our school. And that is something that when you measure the school approach, there is someone on school that have the responsibility to answer. That is the principal. And somehow, even with the survey, learning analytics will not measure that. Okay, the school may measure how many courses from a school. Like I showed yesterday, one school has 12 courses, and maybe measure how many teachers engaged and how many people is involved with the platform. But there's another perspective that is the global dissemination to help us to minimize the gap between secondary schools and universities. Of course, our focus is students, but in our project it said minimize the gap between secondary schools and universities. Secondary schools are represented by the principals, so somehow I think that all of us have to buy a survey or something like that and student or collect or by email. It can be done by each responsible of each pilot in each country. Maybe GTs will have more problems because they have lots of schools, but can send an email and expect that they answer. And this is the kind of measurement that we have to do a little bit more personalized, because the opinion of the people that is on front of the school is important. Also to the teachers, okay, you can measure the teacher's activity by learning analytics, but you cannot work without a survey of things like the profile of the teacher, the needs. That means, yesterday I talked about the VPL. VPL is only for 5% of the teachers that teach programming, but we learn